Hmm.
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 Hmm. Hello and welcome to episode 31 of 10HrHour. This week, Cyberpunk 2077. I'm here with Squid.
That's me.
I'm here with Chase.
Well, you're kind of here with Chase.
We're there with Chase.
Oh,
In spirit.
Chase has light.
It's really fucking bright.
It looks like it.
I need to change
Need
the
sun-
color. I think I
need
need to change the
sunglasses.
color. I need. At least I'm not bald. I'm not blinding everybody, you know?
We can change different colors. One second. I want to try a different color too, real quick.
Now I feel like I'm from the. That's worse. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's as good as it's gonna get. Sorry.
Not redoing the intro.
No, it's fine.
Oh no,
That's
no,
fine.
we don't need to.
We don't need to redo the intro.
This has been a good intro.
It's been a blooper-filled intro, but it's been an intro, you know? Here we are.
What flag is that, Squid?
Don't worry about it.
It's June, everyone.
I was looking for lighting, okay? Some people will understand what flag is up now.
I think a lot of people know what flag is up now.
Cyberpunk 2077. A game where it's had quite a bit of a redeeming arc, honestly. Pretty sure this game was the most hyped game of all time. It failed miserably unless you were on the top line computer, which at the time was 3080, 3090. And I did not have a good computer at the time. Squid. Yeah,
What?
you and I both played at launch. Um, what were your thoughts back then?
I loved Cyberpunk on launch. It had a ton of flaws. I didn't run into as many as most people, but it might have been some rose-tinted glasses because I'm on the same I was on the same computer that I was back then when I started playing this time, and there's no way I was getting the performance I thought I was unless they just completely unoptimized their game since then. Which some would say that it wasn't optimized to begin with. So
This is a game that was even pulled from PlayStation stores because it was so buggy and unoptimized and really just not finished. Huge game, so much to do, but it just ran so poorly. That being said, I remember trying to get 60 and I was getting like 40, 45 on a 1080 Ti in 2020 when this game came out, December 9th, 2020. So we've had about 3.5 years to let it cook now, and dinner is served. Chase, it is your first time playing. What are your thoughts on it?
It's pretty good. It's very slow at the beginning, which we kind of talked about. Just kind of learning the way to play this game. It's a little bit different from any of the first person shooter looter type games that I've played. It's kind of a looter, in my opinion. What's the wink about, huh? Huh?
don't make fun of me.
What? Do you not think it's a looter?
No, I twitched and he just started making
Oh,
fun of me.
okay. I thought you thought it was a nod to me calling it a looter, and you just didn't think it was.
No, it's not. But she was just twitching, and I was like,
But
my
anyway,
bad.
so yeah, it's very slow at the beginning, and I think I'm starting to finally get into the nitty gritty and the actual stuff where it matters what you're doing a little bit more, like with the side quests and everything. It's starting to become more fun.
Yeah. Go ahead, Squid.
I was gonna say, I think when this game first came out, there was so much hype for it that it kind of carried you through that first part and didn't make it feel as slow because I don't remember the first part being um as long as it is, and I think this time I really didn't mind it either. But I think that was because everyone was so hyped for it that they didn't even realize that they played like 4 hours and it was all almost linear at that point, kind of thing, until it really opens up.
I wish we all got to play in 2020. Well, I don't think you would have liked this game back then, Chase.
Probably
I
not.
really don't think so. I think well, not think. I wish we all could have played this. Let's say it came out today on our current hardware,
Yeah.
because hardware makes a huge difference. Squid was on a 1080, 2070. What were you on back then?
Back then, ah, I don't know. So I'm gonna give the specs that I was running on at the start of this run because they would have been very similar. I just don't remember if I was on a standard 1080 back then. But this time I was on a 1080 Ti with an i5 9700F and 16 gigs of RAM. Um Not playable currently. Uh, when I started it up this time, I remembered not having a ton of trouble with it when I was first playing, and I thought I had had an upgrade to my computer since then, so I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna play it. It's gonna be even better." No, not at all. Actually, I ended up having to tank all of the settings to low and cap it at 40 to be able to run it even semi smooth this time. So that's probably about what I had to do last time. Last time I remember refusing to change one setting, and it was the reason I kept having really bad frame drops. And I don't care about frames normally, I just care that they're semi consistent because if they're not, they make me sick. But I absolutely refused to drop crowd size. And that was what really kind of threw me off the first time I was playing this.
Crowd density really helps make the game feel alive. Um, I was running on essentially her specs when the game came out. Now Squid and I are both on the same PC. Actually, we just upgraded. Not for this, but it felt like for this.
The
We
timing couldn't have been better.
yeah.
It was a little bit for this for me. Like this was the catalyst.
I do
Uh,
remember you the other night were like, I need that new PC.
I think a good 2 to 3 hours of my playtime this time was me trying to get the settings so that it would run on my old PC in any form that I would be okay with it. And okay with it was literally I don't want 20 to 30 like frame drops. And it was rough.
During that 3 hour mark, I was sitting here looking at her like, don't look over, don't look over. I was getting 195 average in 2K, ultra everything, ray tracing, path tracing, DLSS 3.5, which just came out. Um, if you have a good PC with a good ray tracing card, this game is amazing now. Like, I haven't had any issues, zero frame drops. I have it locked at 165, which is my refresh right now, and it's amazing. Chase, you're on a 3080, right?
Yeah, 3080. I'm running it at about I'm medium. That's where I feel comfortable. It was running very warm. My PC was running very warm when I was running it on higher graphics settings. So I said rather than risk anything, I'd rather just turn the graphics down a little bit. And it's run pretty well since then. The fans do still kick on quite a bit, but it's not nearly as hot as it was when I was running on high.
Well, the 30 series is notorious just for running hot anyway.
Yeah.
Like the 80s and 90s are pretty toasty.
Yeah. But overall, I don't really think it's affected the way the game is playing for me, other than a little bit less graphical.
You're happy with performance
Clarity.
then?
Yeah, for the most
Okay.
part, no real issues.
I think medium still looks really good on this game.
It does.
Just as long as, like I said, I think the main one on this game is crowd size because it changes how the game feels. Like the crowd density. When I was first playing, I had it on like medium, and then I ended up trying to tank it to low, and it feels empty. Like the entire city feels really empty. But graphics wise, I think the game kind of holds up even on mediums.
I think I've got crowd density on medium. Again, that's just more or less me not wanting to fry my GPU.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is performance out of the way. I wanted to start there just because that's
That was a big issue when the game first launched, and
yeah.
I was talking to somebody IRL today about how we were playing Cyberpunk for the podcast. It's one of my customers at my work, and I was telling him like, yeah, we're playing Cyberpunk. He goes, oh, I was gonna try to play that, but it was really unplayable on Xbox when it first came out, and on PC
Yep.
it wasn't really good either. I said it's pretty good now. I said ever since they came out with the new DLC, it's actually looks pretty good. So. And looking at the Steam reviews right now, even all reviews are listed at very positive, and that's at 658,000 reviews. And recent reviews, all very positive as well, with nearly 8,000 reviews recently. So
One of the main problems on console at launch wasn't even just that it did not run well on the old hardware, which they had been promised into making it for. It was crashes. There were a ton of crashes on console, so people were losing their content, their progress all the time. Um, I heard a lot of people having that on PC too. Now, I didn't have that in the beginning, but I did save all the time because I was worried about it.
makes sense.
Yeah. It's definitely been better. They had a redemption arc. 1.5 came out last year to prep for the DLC, Phantom Liberty. Do you guys own the DLC at all, or am I the only one that jumped on it?
You are, I think.
Okay.
I don't.
Um, if you guys do really like the game so far, the DLC is meant to be played alongside of the main story. Um, Apparently, the last level of the game, like the base game, um, you choose whatever you choose. I don't know the ending, but it's very clear like this is the end. So a lot of people wait until then and then go back and do the DLC because everybody says it's the best part of the game. But my plan over the next 2 weeks is to play the DLC alongside it, so I can just experience everything during.
Yeah.
Um, that's basically our plan for the next 2 weeks. Then I guess we're gonna keep playing this. This is Cyberpunk Part 1. Part 2 will be out in 2 weeks, like normal,
Yep.
or streamed in 2 weeks.
Well, and out in
But
2 weeks as well, because
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But for Part 1, Squid, you were Corpo. This is your first Corpo run, correct?
Yeah, my first run when the game came out was Street Kid, but this time I wanted to try a different one, so I tried Corpo. I really thought I wasn't going to want to do Corpo, but I've been really enjoying it.
And then Chase, you decided on Street Kid, right?
yeah,
The
it was a
Cyberpunk.
it was it was a toss up between Street Kid and Nomad, and just kind of talking between the three of us, I felt like Street Kid was the right call. That way, Squid could play something she hadn't tried before, um, and you could play Nomad, which is something you really wanted to try.
My very first. So I've done the prologue with all three backgrounds, I guess, and that's basically all I've done in Cyberpunk. This was my fourth or fifth time trying to start the game and finish it. Um, yeah, I picked Nomad. We want to talk about our intros, I guess. By the way, there's going to be spoilers in this because it's been out for 3.5 years, and
If
frankly,
if you don't like it, sorry.
go play the game and come back. um, I guess I'll start the Nomad intro. You start in a garage, and you need your vehicle fixed, and you're passing through basically in the Badlands outside of Night City, and the sheriff comes in and basically says like, "What are you doing in my town?" Her, and you either just leave or talk shit. And obviously, I angered him, and then he kind of just lets you go regardless of what you pick. You are trying to radio somebody for a job that you're trying to pick up. So you have to go to a radio tower, climb it, and activate your jack from your wrist basically into it to get a radio signal. The radio signal sends you to a RV. That RV that you go to is Jackie's house. Um, you meet Jackie there, and you have it's a pickup and transport into Night City, basically an illegal case. You have all the paperwork and everything. Um, you Jackie's like, "Do you want to open it?" And you're like, "No, I'm good. I'm not about to do that because I don't. That's not my business. Basically, I just want to do the job, get paid, and get out." You find out that you're a nomad, which is like a biker type gang. It seemed like a mix between um, Mad Max type gang with like family. That's like your nomad tribe, I think it's called. But you tear your patch off, throw it on the ground. You're a single now. You don't have anywhere to go, so you're going to Night City for an opportunity. You take a case, you go through a security checkpoint into the border of Night City. Bunch of shit happens. Jackie's driving you, and you're shooting everybody to get through Night City. You have a hideout. Jackie says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna open this." You escape, and you're in the hideout for the night. You open it up. It's an iguana. It's a super black market animal because animals are rare to come by, and it's a super super rich, expensive iguana that you're going to take to, I believe, Pompeki Tower. Um, huh?
I didn't realize that's where the iguana came from. Could I have found the iguana? I wonder.
I don't believe so, but that's cool that it's just there. Even though you're not nomad, it still ties in. And then at that point, it does the cinematic for you and Jackie building the relationship and all of that. I think it's the same. And then you do the Sandra Dorset mission, which that's where all three combine at that point. Chase, what's Street Kid like?
So Street Kid, you are in a bar talking to the owner, and your owner is a friend of yours, and he owes I think he's a fixer anyway, uh, a bunch of money, and I guess you have a relationship with this fixer. So you go up and talk to him and agree to do a job for them in order to wipe the slate on this debt that is owed to them. Um, so you agree to do it, and it's steal this one of four car. There's only four of them in Night City, and so you agree to steal it, and you go up, you get into the parking garage, you get in the car, try to get this little piece of hardware that this guy gives you in order to jack the car. It doesn't work, and that's where Jackie shows up and points a gun at you, and then you get bombarded by NCPD and get arrested. And then you're building the relationship with Jackie.
That's
And same
fuck.
thing. Yeah. If I missed
Squid,
anything, Squid, tell me, because I don't think I did.
Do you talk to the father before or after that? Do you remember? The gang leader? Who's like super cool with you?
I think that's after. I
Oh, okay.
think. I
That's the
think.
only thing from Street Kid I could remember that was different specifically from Corpo. I had forgotten about that car heist. I remember it now. So Corpo, way less to do than both of these. Like you guys had full missions to do. Um, Corpo, you head in, and you're summoned to your boss's office, basically. Your boss at Arasaka, and you are given a job. And that job is to take out one of his competition. When you walk in, he's like kind of viewing this meeting that's going on, and he hacks it somehow and kills like just a ton of delegates. Um that causes a big stir. People know he did it basically, but it's like all corporate politics. And he says that this chick knows that it was him and she's going to give him up and we got to take care of her because they're basically like work enemies. And taking care of her means killing her. So you have to go figure out how you're going to do that. Um, you read some emails, you take some drugs, and then you go to uh Liz's, the bar, for the mocks, and you meet up with Jackie there, and you basically ask him, "Hey, I gotta do this job. Let's do it." And he gives you a lecture about like, "Oh, so you're just killing people for them now? Like you don't care at all? Like you're just gonna do whatever they ask." And you guys kind of have a heart to heart
Heart to
of
tart.
heart to heart of that's no kind of life. Like you don't even own your own life. Like what are you doing? And he says he's not going to help you. He's not going to do it. You're on your own. But before you can leave, you get ambushed. You get fired. um, and you basically go to the street life from there. That's when you and Jackie start working together. And he's like, "Okay, cool. You're out of it. Let's." It's the same cutscene you guys get basically. But not a lot of gameplay in that. Just a lot of go here, go there kind of thing.
I got to thinking about it. Meeting that leader, that gang leader, is involved in that. It's after you leave the bar, you meet up with that father of the gang leader, and then you have a choice. You can either back him and tell the guys to back the fuck off, or not back him, and I'm sure that there's some sort of negative repercussions by not doing so. So
That's really the only big differences between the three. I would say by far the most drastic differences in the game so far, at least.
yeah,
Um, you do have different dialogue options. I don't know about you guys, but I mainly do. I see the nomad option. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do my like background choice option. Um, oh, something else I want to bring up. Squid and I are both female V. We've never heard this game from male V perspective. I was watching your stream. It's a completely different vibe. Like
yeah,
it's a different game.
it is. It's a different vibe entirely. But I felt like once I saw that you guys were both playing female V, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna play male. That way we have both character arcs as far as that goes. So it was, I think it was a good choice.
You liking it? The voice actor and everything?
Yeah. I will say the voice actor does not match my character's appearance at all. But that's, I mean, that's to be expected. You have one choice for male voice and one choice for female voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't get.
I would rather them just do one of each really
Yep.
well
Yep.
than what was the game we played that you had the different octaves and it just didn't work?
The
Hogwarts Legacy.
multiple games, but Hogwarts
It
Legacy is
was
the one you're thinking
so
of.
bad.
It was literally just uh,
Yeah,
a pitch difference. They just changed this. It was the same voice actor with a pitch differential.
I would rather them do this and just do it right, honestly.
Yep.
Um, I feel like whichever one you start with, the other one's just gonna permanently be weird.
No, can confirm. I had never heard male V either, and I was like, oh, it'll just be the same thing. And I looked up how to do a mission because I failed this mission for my second playthrough. I failed it twice now, but I really wanted to know what happens if you didn't fail it. So I looked it up because it's just a short side mission, and the person was playing male V, and I don't like that guy. It was just his inflections and stuff. It just wasn't what I was used to, I think. But I was like, wow, male V comes off as a dick.
Yep.
So does female V. I think she just plays it off a little more playful. But like, if you listen to some of female V's lines, she's also kind of a dick. So
I think the difference is like manly asshole versus like email snark. Um, like what is it? Uh,
sarcasm.
yeah, yeah, just sarcastic. But they both work for the vibe for sure. Like they work well with the city and the character and everything.
Yeah.
Um, the mission Squid is referring to is your neighbor Barry. Have you talked to your neighbor Barry yet, Chase?
Nope.
How far? I don't know how to do this. Um,
How many days has it been since you woke up?
From the prologue?
Yeah, so from the prologue, when you're then back in your apartment again after everything's happened,
Like
has it been
2.
like, okay.
But I've been doing a lot of side quest stuff and not
Mhm.
progressing the main story, which the part that I'm at, or how far in are we like what are we spoiling, what are we not spoiling?
I just want to make sure none of us get spoiled. I don't really care about anything else. Um, let's see.
I don't know if you're at this point. I'm assuming you are. I'm level 15.
I am 18.
Squid is less than that.
Yeah, I'm only 11, but I'm progression-wise about the same spot that Panda is, I think. And it's not as far as I have been in the past. But
Okay.
I think that Chase still has a chance to do this mission, if that's what you were trying to check, Panda. So I don't know if we can talk about Barry.
Don't worry about Barry. Go ahead, talk about Barry. It's your favorite character. Go ahead, talk about Barry.
It's not our favorite character, I don't think. It was just as
No,
soon
it's
as
her
you
favorite
go, that's fair. As soon as you go outside of your apartment after like the prologue and everything, were there NCPD banging on their neighbor's door,
Oh
basically,
yeah.
like on the
Yeah.
stairs?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a side quest. If you
Oh,
hang out
okay.
there and talk to them, that's a quest.
Okay.
Have you gone back and was there X's on the door yet?
Nope. I don't know. I
Okay.
haven't looked.
Okay.
I only go to the apartment once in a while, so
Barry's not my favorite character. I have emotional damage due to Barry. So that's what I
okay.
think it is. He's not my favorite character. He's not even a big character. His side quest is just well written and emotional. So it's a very quick short one. If you can do it, cool. If not, that's fine too. Um, but I think it's a very poignant story. It really shows how in depth they went on not just your character's story, but the whole of Night City.
Yeah. It's very, oh shit, this is real. Okay. Like to me, that quest was like, oh, that's the immersion in this game. Got it. Um, so I thought it was a really well done quest. Um, have you guys done any of the boxing stuff yet?
No.
I don't think I did on my original playthrough, and I haven't on this one. Like I don't think I've done any of the boxing.
Okay, so I did the first two, and the second one is what you saw, Chase. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they're fun. The very first fight you go to, it's twins, but they're the same. So basically, they have some weird. They explain it in their dialogue, but it's twins that wanted to get closer than brothers could. So essentially, they are one. They have the same thoughts. They're the same person, but there's two of them.
Hive mind twins?
Yeah, basically, like they got some like work done and everything, and like cybernetics to where they are one. So it's kind of cool to think that that's definitely a possibility in the future. Like they're like, I'm like, yo, this is a 2v1. What's up with that? And they're like, no, it's one of us. We are one. And you're like, no,
No. I see 4 hands.
yeah.
I've only got 2.
But that was cool. The first two, I think they were very different fights, but they were both very cool. I recommend those.
That one that you did, is that specifically to Nomad, or is that literally?
Oh,
Oh,
that
okay.
was um. So I'll spoil the second fight, I guess, if you're cool with that, Squid, because Chase already saw it.
Yeah, that's fine.
You essentially fight Guile from Street Fighter. Essentially, that's what he is. But you walk up, and I don't know if you need a certain amount of tech or something, but you see this sniper because it was an iconic weapon sitting there, and I was like, yo. So I walk over there, and I'm like, yo, is that this weapon? Is that one of 250 made of this? And he's like, I'm not here to talk guns. I'm here to fight you. Um, so you have the option if you already talked to him about the sniper, I'm guessing. you put down an extra 18 grand and say, cool, I get the sniper if I win. And he was like, fine, I'm not gonna lose. You go, you beat him up. Uh, mind you, there's like 8 people there. You go, you beat him up, and he was on the ground, and he's like, killer. So you just have to kill everybody, including him, and then you get a sniper. It was cool.
It was a badass looking sniper too.
Yeah, it's crazy, like explosives, and it does a bunch of shit. It's super cool.
What
I don't
tier
know.
is it? What tier level is it?
I
Is
think
that
it
two
was 2
plus?
plus. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was 2 plus, but it does like 500 damage.
that's
Like,
insane.
I shot. There was a group of 4 people. I think it was when I tested it. I had shot 2 of them, and all 4 were dead,
Oh,
and that was from pretty far.
wow.
So that got me really excited just to see what weapons are gonna be because I'm level 18 and I've like scratched the surface of the game.
Yeah.
But I do want to get. I have like 58,000 creds right now. I did pay back our
Vic.
fixer Vic. Yeah, thank you. I already paid back Vic the Ripper Doc, so our debts are paid, and I still have another 58K.
Wow.
I'm gonna get Gorilla Arms ASAP and start doing more of the fights.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's an option because he had Gorilla Arms when you fight him, so his hits were really hard, but they were kind of slower. So I'm gonna try to do some cybernetics and kind of cheese my way through it. What like side things have you guys done that you like?
Okay. Um, that'll play real good in audio. I'm gonna cut it. Um, I haven't done a ton of the side missions in this one yet. I did in my other play. So I've been going mainly like just direct storyline and then the side quests that I know I like that are story-wise kind of. But on my original playthrough, I was doing the street races. Um, and I'm super excited to do those again because they've completely overhauled the driving mechanics. So they're supposedly better. From driving around the city, I know that I like them better. So I'm really excited to do those again.
Dude, there's street racing, and I had no idea. And I went to a garage, and Claire was like, "Yo, I'll call you back. You interested?" And I was like, "Yo, I'm a nomad." So it was super cool. I took the skills where I do more damage and I take less damage. I also can't take damage in a vehicle. But it's essentially flat out if you played that back in the day, Chase.
Okay.
One person shooting out the side and everything, another person's driving. It's super sick. Anyways, go on, Squid. Sorry.
Um, I did them because I like Claire. That was my only reason for doing them because I was like, well, I'm gonna get closer to Claire. I like Claire. So yeah.
I like racing. Have you done like
I'm
any side chains or anything yet? Or
I'm trying to figure out what, like, going through some of the stuff that I've done that was listed as side quests, like not main story. Um
have you been mainly doing the gig, like side gigs?
no, mostly I have done a few of them, but I've done a lot of main story stuff.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to remember. I've done a few side quests.
Did you do any of the cyber psychos?
I have killed. I've killed not a cyber psycho, but I've killed net runners. I've done a lot, just like world event type deals, like the assault in progress type deals that you can do. Um, I did. I didn't mean to do this one, but the guy that's got the burning what is a fire crotch guy or whatever or something. He needs you to take him to a ripper dock basically because he's got problems. And so you take him to a ripper dock and he just talks to you for a while and then gives you credits after a little while for taking him to a ripper dock.
I have not done that, but that seems interesting.
It was funny. It was definitely funny. That's probably my favorite just because of the comedy aspect of it. It's like, yeah.
I accidentally was just walking along and realized I was like, oh, this door looks like I could go in there. I'm gonna see if I can go in there, and I go in there and go up an elevator, and it's just the home base for the chick that you do the cyber psycho missions for.
Oh,
So there's like a home base to that if you do any of those.
Currently, I'm probably high enough level, but I see a cyber psycho and I'm like, nope, going back the other way because they're made out to be such like fearsome enemies and everything, and I'm like, I'm not ready. I probably am, but I just haven't tried one yet.
yeah.
I remember doing one of them on, I think like the introduction one, on my first run through, and I remember it being tough, like really tough. So
I think you have to utilize your cybernetic powers, like the overheat and all that stuff, to probably. Which I was watching you, and you utilize them very well, Panda. Like you're constantly
Thank you.
using them. I always forget, but the last couple play times I've been playing, I've been more focused on trying to use them. I've also been doing a lot of cover based fighting. So
Yeah.
I've got a pistol that's got a silencer on it. It's a tier 2 pistol that hits really, really fucking hard. I've got abilities that also give me bonus damage if I'm not in combat with people. It's really good. So I'm like silencer, snipe your head off, then go to the next guy, snipe their head off, and it's quick, easy killing. But I'm going cover to cover, trying to be stealthy in that as well.
So I have 50 hours in this game. My first 40 hours, I never touched anything Netrunner whatsoever. Like I never used it, but for some reason this time it's so much fun. I'm currently like I see 3 enemies, and I have it already. So I have 12 sticks of VRAM already, or
Wow.
RAM, whatever it's called. So overheats 3.
Yep.
So boom, 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 and then I usually just one shot each of them with a pistol and go to the next wave of enemies because after they get done burning, they'll die. If I miss one or whatever, or if I don't have enough, I can reboot optics, which makes it so they don't see for like 3 or 4 seconds. Everybody else is overheating. That guy's blind. I'll run in with a sword because that's really fun too, and I'll start chopping away. So currently, my build is um, just go in. I'm focusing on net running, and I don't know what type of weapon I'm gonna use yet. I'm really liking swords, and I might do sword, pistol, maybe 2 swords, pistol. I don't know. Um, there was there's a sword you can get only in Konpeki Tower in the prologue. Um, you know how when he says like jump out the window in the prologue when you're in the room and you go out the window and do whatever? Did you try going upstairs before
I
that?
did.
You can go upstairs when he says jump out the window.
Anytime that I have seen optionals, like I didn't immediately go out the window. Anytime
Mhm.
I've seen optionals, I do them if I can.
Oh, so you got the sword?
I got the sword. It
Yo,
hits so hard.
did you get the throwing knife already?
I
There's a throwing
think
knife
so.
that goes with it. So whenever you quick slash, I think it's called, like you hold attack when it's holstered, it guarantees bleeding.
Oh,
Like guarantees. And then if you throw a knife at it that goes with it, it guarantees hemorrhaging,
oh,
which is an insane amount of bleed.
yep. It
So
would
I'm
be
thinking I'm gonna do that combo
with a
with
pistol.
pistol and just net running.
I literally built for swords and pistols, and I didn't get the sword. I got the dagger. I got the dagger, but I don't have the sword. And I was
I
like,
think,
I wonder when I'm gonna get the sword. Like, I wonder where you get that. And then Panda was like, hey, did you get the sword?
yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime, like I am treating this game like a looter, like hardcore,
That's
like a looter.
it's a looter RPG light looter, I guess. So when the game came out, there wasn't a ton of loot. Like money was hard to come by for me, at least. Um, it wasn't until this playthrough that I have 60K already. Like, I have so much money. What do I do with this?
Yeah.
So I'm just getting all the cybernetics. Even if I don't use it right now, I might in the future.
Yeah.
Cyberware is cool. It changes a lot.
I've done a lot of upgrading to my cybernetics.
Yeah,
So I've got like tier 2 on a bunch of them. But I'm
never
almost
upgraded either.
I'm almost maxed out to where my level allows me to be able to
Mm.
be. So I'm just kind of waiting to add to my cybernetics a little bit more. Kind of have to just continue playing, which I'm going to. So
I don't understand what I've done. I don't have enough money to pay Vic back yet, and that's like my main priority because I want to pay back Vic. I don't have upgrades. I haven't bought as many cybernetics. Like, what?
you're
Why
not
am I
looting.
not getting money? No, I'm looting. I'm
You're not
looting everybody
selling.
I kill. Nope, I'm selling. I'm not doing a lot of the side missions that are fights, so I don't have as many dead bodies to loot. I think that's what it is.
Maybe.
Another thing, when you're driving to your objective, are you stopping, getting out, and murdering people? Because if I see a group of people and enemies, I hop out and start shit.
See, that's what I'm saying. I haven't been doing like any of those. So I think I'm not getting the money from not killing them. I'm not getting the experience from not killing them, and then also I'm not getting the loot to sell. So
I strongly recommend just dismantling a lot of stuff, because to upgrade, like, cool, if you sell everything, you can buy it. In my experience so far, I'm getting a lot of money just from doing side stuff and dismantling everything. Like, you need to upgrade your shit too.
I have been dismantling as well. I've been doing a combination. Like once I get
Yeah.
to a point where I can't carry anything, if I'm still in the middle of something, I'll just go through and be like, okay, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, and I'll
Mhm.
start dismantling stuff just to get myself to the point where I can continue looting again. And then when I get out, anything that I don't want from that point on, I will sell. That's kind of how I'm going about it.
I'm kind of dismantling everything. Whenever I get done playing IRL, I always go back to my apartment. I don't necessarily sleep, but I just go back there. I just like the fresh start every time I play of like, all right, what do I need to do? Because I always stop at like a decent stopping point. Just that way I'm not in the middle of anything. When I go to my apartment, I take a full inventory back and I sell all of that to the gun guy. Everything else I get playing, I basically just dismantle. But I'm at like 56K or so. I just haven't gone to a Ripper Doc to get my arms that I want, the gorilla arms, yet.
Yeah. I'm at I think around 20K, but like I said, I've been using a lot of funds to upgrade cybernetics. But I also did pay Vic back as well. So
Wow, squid.
I honestly don't know for sure, but I think I have like 5K.
yeah, you need to
I
start.
am the poorest.
You definitely need to start. Definitely need to start taking those random fights in the overworld.
Yeah, but I gotta save people.
Yeah, you can save people from being racketeered, and you can save people from being assaulted, and you can save people from being attacked randomly on the street.
I did get the ability on my tech ability that I was fighting some Valentinos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's usually cars by them and everything. I got the tech ability to where I can floor it or stop. Were you watching when I did this?
No, I don't. No, I
Uh,
didn't.
I overheat one, I overheat another, I floor a car into a group of like three of them, and then I go running in with a sword. And
Uh,
then I'm like, oh man, that was great. Like, that was so cool. And then I'm like, wait a second. One bike is still standing up perfectly pointed towards the street. So I pick up a body after I loot it. I throw it on the bike. It stays on, and I floor it, and it's just going down the street. It was great. My
oh
immersion was
my.
fantastic.
Well,
Just the
I was gonna say I don't know if I was streaming or if I was just. I think I was streaming. And all of a sudden there was like 4 people sitting around an explosive, something that was explosive, and I just went, "Oh, that's fun!" Ignite, boom! There
Yep.
was just pieces everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like sometimes you just walk up after throwing a grenade in or something, and you're like, "Oh, that's an arm. Oh, that's a leg. Oh, there's the potato."
I'm a
just
potato.
it's just so far. Especially
Uh,
using a sword, you're just chopping off limbs, and you're like, "Well, oh well."
I'm not. I'm popping heads off though with a pistol.
Yeah.
That is fulfilling. I thought Division's headshot sound was
Yeah.
like really like fulfilling. No, this is even better. Watching their head just explode and then their body fall without a head. It's great.
It's very Gears of War.
Haven't played Gears of War, so
It's like a gush and then a little fountain, basically. Ah, it's so satisfying.
it's so satisfying.
CDPR did very well with making guns feel good, impactful, and just fun to use. Swords too, like they're vastly different. I haven't tried throwing daggers yet.
I haven't
It's
either.
an ability you have to take, I believe. I just haven't done it yet. I also am worried that when I throw that one that causes hemorrhaging or whatever, if I have to go pick it up, like I'm scared to lose it.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
tested it. You don't have to go pick it up.
You just automatically have it back.
It
that
recharges.
seems that seems broken. Oh,
It's on a
okay, okay,
recharge.
okay.
Can I go pick it up though to make a cooldown just go away? Or is it like you're only limited on this amount?
It's a pretty fast cooldown, so I haven't actually gotten to test that yet because I thought I was gonna have to run and pick it up too, but no, I've been throwing it. It's pretty good.
That's cool. There's also an ability later on in the tree that you can get that you can reflect bullets, I saw, with the sword.
Yeah.
So that seems fun. You just jump in the middle of everybody and then just start deflecting bullets and
Yeah.
overheating and the gameplay is so satisfying. Like the combat, the driving is really nice now too. It used to be whatever, kind of like Watch Dogs in my opinion. Now it's fun. It's not great, but it's good for this.
You can do the different camera angles now. I don't remember if on launch you could actually swap to not first person or not. Panda, can you remember?
I think you could, but like frame rate, it was better in first person.
That might be the problem because I'm not driving in first person. I do not like it. But I just don't like driving normally. So I always do like third person high camera. Um, there have been so many changes since launch. I logged into my what's it called my original save today to get some stats and figure out what I had been putting points in originally because I couldn't 100% remember. And you get hit with character reset due to significant changes in gameplay mechanics. Your perks have been reset and your perk points have been refunded, allowing you to rebuild your character how you like because they've changed so much.
I mean, that's
with
probably for the best.
with that, they allow one free attributes back as well. So you can completely change your like core attributes with body, reflex, whatever. Normally you can't. You can't respect that at all. You can respect your skill trees, but not your core attributes.
So I opened up the game because I wanted to look at my core attributes as well as what I had for like cyberware and everything. So I've been trying to balance everything out, but initially when I started, I went with high on cool so that I could determine assassination skills. That's why I'm so good at just one-shotting heads with a pistol. But I've also got so cool is at 9 right now, and then I've got tech, reflexes, and body all at 7, and intelligence at 6. But my cyberware and stuff, I've got 3 pieces of cyberware in the frontal cortex, which allows me to get a lot more RAM as well. Then I've got 1 in subdermal armor in the integumentary system, which decreases enemy vision and gives me some extra health. An upgrade into the face. I went up to tier 2 on the optics And then I've got micro generator for hands, which gives me faster reload speed, which is really good, especially with a pistol. That is really good. And then I've got blood pump for the circulatory system, which gives me quick hack damage and damage over time. Gotta love dots.
Okay. Yeah. Dots are good in this game. Like, you really can just leave it and forget it usually, or just, like I said, on at least my damage output, I just overheat one shot, and then I'm good to go. It has to be a headshot though, I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah, but right now I'm running the Kongu, which is an iconic tier 2 pistol.
okay, the
Thank
pink one,
no
44.
what
Never mind.
Is that the one you picked
Kongu.
up from what's his face's bedstand?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. That's what I'm running to.
Yeah. It's got a 150% headshot damage multiplier, which is why it hits so freaking hard. But it's also got 20 base damage. So yeah.
Any scopes on it or anything, or is it just raw?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
It has an additional zoom as well as a 10% range buff from a handyman tier 1 scope. And then I've also got a silencer on it, which gives 100% stealth damage and 20% damage reduction, which is also why I go cover based and pop their head off immediately.
I'm also running that pistol.
It's a good pistol.
It is.
And then I'm running a submachine gun and an assault rifle that are both tier 2 as well.
Have you upgraded the Kongu at all, or is it still to tier 2?
Still tier 2.
Okay. I'm running the Kongu, the Satori, which is the sword we got from the helicopter, and the 505, which is the sniper. The sniper does 274 damage with 50% armor pen, 50% crit damage, and 32% burn chance.
That's so good.
Dumb.
That is
My
so good.
core attributes are body 9, intelligence 9, cool 10, reflex 5, which I know swords are reflex based, but I don't know yet what I'm doing exactly. And then tech 6. And then my cyberware is I just bought legs. I bought the Lynx paws, which you should too. 50% quieter movement, 6% crouch movement speed, minus 20% fall damage. I did it for bonus stealth damage, which I believe stacks into quick hack damage. Because I got 1.6% quick hack damage.
Okay.
So I figured if I do go full sword, I would use that stealth, quick hack, bonus damage. But yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, I also have Skeleton, Fiend X. It's tier 2. It's 250% RAM regenerate when available RAM is below 4. So at the very beginning of like a combat sequence, I just empty my RAM and I immediately get 4 back, basically. It's super fast.
Wow. Yep.
I also get 210% bonus armor when RAM is below 4. So if I am, oh shit, I've gone too deep, I can get out with bonus armor and 25% movement speed for 5 seconds when entering combat. So if my sword is not working, I can just dip. I have. I don't know how to see how much RAM I have other than just. But just trying to use it? I don't know.
I actually don't know.
But I'm level 18, street cred 21 right now.
I am level 15 with street cred 12. So I've done I don't know. I feel like I've done a lot more than I have maybe for side quests.
I'm level 12, street cred 5. I play this game very different than you guys. I have not been attributing the same points the same way. Right now I'm at body 5, reflex 8, tech ability 7, and cool 8, and then intelligence is also at 5. But almost all of my unlocks for like within the trees have been in body, just so I can get the health regen going a lot better. So 4 of them went into that, but I'm running mainly reflexes and cool, just for the dialogue reasons, and I went ahead with that fighting style because of the dialogue reasons. On my original build, I went tech, and then I was doing a mission, and it's a mission I cared a lot about, and then I hadn't attributed 1 point because I had leveled up, and I got to a point where I entered dialogue, and I needed 10 points, and I had 9. And I couldn't attribute that unattributed point. And it made me get the ending I didn't want. So I didn't want to go tech this time. I don't even want to give myself the chance.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I have 12 RAM currently.
I think I've got 9 or 8. It's one of those two right now. But I've done a lot of my perk points into cool because, again, I'm trying to be kind of like that silent assassin. So I've gotten a point into Killer Instinct, which gives me 25% damage with knives, axes, and silenced guns outside of combat. More bonus damage to my silenced pistol. Then I've also got landing an attack on an enemy right after they detect you will delay detection from other nearby enemies. Again, becoming silent assassin. I also gave myself feline footwork, which gives me movement speed and mitigation chance. And I also gave when crouched, the higher your mitigation chance, the longer it takes for enemies to detect you, giving me blind spot. That's what it's called. I've also gotten focus up to level 2, which gives me no stamina cost for shooting, allowing more accurate shots when it's active. Also, a minus 50% stamina cost from focus mode for each enemy neutralized while it's active. So again, just aim, shoot quick, get them down. And then focus is active, or while it's active, neutralizing an enemy with a range attack resets its duration as well. So just constantly refreshing that focus. And also slows time by 25% and enemies for me and enemies when focus is active. And that's only affects pistols, revolvers, precision rifles, and sniper rifles. So again, using that silenced pistol is fine. So that's what I've been kind of trying to build up my cool a little bit using those silence abilities that kind of just make it so that I'm really, really dangerous in when I'm out of combat getting ready to fight.
What what build do we want? Like I think you're gonna just lean into Silent Assassin with the tech, I'm guessing. Like start hacking more and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean right now. I'm just trying to get myself as balanced as I can to give myself the ability to get to the pro abilities on all of them. But I think going towards end game, I'm gonna be leaning heavily into cool and tech, so that I'm able to go silent. Probably, hopefully, now that I know that I can actually get that sniper rifle from a boxing thing, I'll probably go do that, and in order to make sure that I get the sniper rifle and put a silencer on that, so then it'll be range and up close, and that's gonna be gross.
I hope you can't put a silencer on like an explosive sniper.
That would be really broken. That would be really broken.
Be busted. How about you,
if I can't use that one in particular, I will find a sniper that will work.
Yeah. I want to find like a quick scoping one with the focus and everything. Just pop. What build are you looking at right now, Squid? Like, what do you want to lean into?
I want to run swords and pistols with high mitigation. So I've been leaning high into health regen and mitigation so that I can kind of go from afar, but I don't plan on hacking a whole bunch. I do plan on just hack slash, honestly. Different kind of hacking.
Still hacking.
Hacking and slashing.
Mash, binging, bashing. Yeah, I think I want to do the sword, like lean in more swords.
Yeah.
Now that I know you can deflect bullets and everything, it just seems so cool to run in and just not worry. Only downside is if they block when you have a sword. Oh, it's so annoying.
That's when you quickly flip to your pistol.
And pop them in the head.
I think that's when you swap to your pistol, pop them in the head, or honestly, just immediately go to reboot optics, pocket your sword, do the quick attack where they cause bleeding, and then go from there. There's so many different ways you can do combat.
And honestly, if as long as you continue to upgrade your iconic sword and not and dagger, you're gonna be able to run that for ever, really, and have that combo work for you.
I hope I can stack stupid crit into the dagger.
Yeah, that'd be gross. That
That'd
would
be
be
cool.
gross.
But yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything else. Do you guys have anything else want to talk about or discuss?
Much like Cyberpunk, it has been an hour and 15. That's not going to be correct for the podcast, but an hour and 15, and we have not gotten past talking about the prologue. We actually didn't talk about what happens after our characters merge together, story wise. But I think that's going to have to be in a part 2.
I didn't want to go full into like what everything we did was because I just want to get to like the intro on the differences between them mainly. If you guys wanted, we can discuss how we did that first warehouse, the food place, if you guys want. You're editing, so it's up to you.
I think that'll be a next episode kind of thing. Because next episode, we've already talked about the combat a lot in this one. Next episode, we'll be able to go more into what we did in mid to end game, but also more of our stories will have diverged some at that point, and maybe we can talk about more of the world as well. Like I know you're into the trauma team stuff, Panda, and all that.
Okay, I think Jason and I did the same thing in the warehouse, anyways. So that's fine.
Talking about saving a certain someone.
What?
What?
Who did you save?
We'll talk about that in part 2.
Become friends with Maelstrom, fight your way out, save Brick, boom.
Oh yeah, no, I told them that money was
Coffee.
spiked, and then they gave me free stuff, and I was friends with this dude who was just ridiculous.
I just took off the spike and then said, "Yo, this was spiked. I fixed it. Here you go." And then now we're homies.
Oh no, I didn't do that.
Oh,
Oh no, I didn't do that at all.
oh.
Did you give them the spiked cash? And not tell them? Okay, we all three did this different.
I chose chaos in that fight. I will tell you that right now.
Okay. Next week on 10HrHour.
Still saved a friend though.
Was Brick the friend?
Yeah,
That's his name, right? Brick?
I think. No,
Brick's the one who died before we got there. Isn't Brick the one who died before we got there?
find out in part 2 of Cyberpunk 2077.
Brick's not dead. He's locked up in a storage and he can get the key and then get him out. And then he's like, "Yo, well, thanks, homie." And I'm like, "Now's not the time to discuss."
But we're friends now.
I made friends with some other dude.
You probably made friends with the guy that put him in that.
Not the main guy, not the big Cyclops
Dum-dum.
guy. Dum Dum. Yeah, I'm friends with Dum Dum.
Good old Dum Dum. Dum Dum died real quick.
Aw, Dum Dum, Reese, and Brick were cool. I mean,
Yeah,
those two
Dum
aren't
Dum.
cool, but
Dum Dum got his head blown off by a shotgun. I think that was why he was using a shotgun at that time.
Dum Dum was funny. He was
Dum Dum
nice.
was a Dum Dum and pulled a gun on me.
He gave you gave him spiked cash.
Not my problem.
You pulled multiple virtual guns on him.
it is what it is. That's basically how the warehouse went for us.
We didn't find out in part 2. We found out in part 1.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm excited to see I think as we play, we should like just message each other, be like, "Yo, I think this important thing we should talk about, like this important mission, see how we handled it." And we'll probably have like 4 or 5, maybe more major plot things that we did, and just see how we did things different. Because this was the first one we could have done differently, and I think we all did it vastly different. So,
Mhm.
also excited to see how saving Brick after killing everyone versus not killing everyone. See that path. See the path of friends. There is no Brick. Like that. That's so many different outcomes right there that could happen.
I'm calling it now. In part 2, we definitely have to talk about clouds. We can't talk about it here, but we gotta talk about clouds.
I did that one, so yeah, we could talk about it right now.
See, we don't have to talk about it right now, but before the 1.5 update, there was no pictures. So you had to remember which one the dude was and which one the female was. And a lot of the community was like, yo, I thought I was going to smash a dude on accident. I noticed they added pictures to avoid any confusion for people, I guess. But like, it's Cyberpunk. Who cares? But yeah, there's a bunch of different options now, which is nice too. I know Squid and I did clouds completely different. No bait. Okay. I am ViolinPanda underscore on some things and ViolinPanda on other things. Squid.
I am AreYouSquidinMe on all the things. Uh, yeah, all the things.
Including Reddit.
Actually, yes.
Oh, you did get it. Okay.
It turns out I had it.
Oh, okay. I'm Chaser931 underscore on all the things, since we're being very nondescript and not talking about anything. And we will be talking about something else here right quick. We are changing the we're changing the handles for all of our social media. Well, social media, not so much the YouTube or the Twitch, to 10-hour pod 10HrHour pod. That way there, we've been talking about it behind the scenes and got some feedback. Feedback is accurate. And somebody suggested that we maybe want to do that so that it's more
It'll help the SEO a lot.
Yeah.
Also, we're a podcast and we keep telling you guys to go to 10HrHour, which is mildly confusing on how to spell when I am just saying it.
Yes.
It's spelled the same way as the podcast, of course, but this is just simpler, more streamlined.
Yes. So 10HOUR pod. POD.
So we will be 10-hour pod on X, Insta, and is that all the socials we really do now?
Those are the only two that we really hyper focus on.
Okay. We'll still be 10HrHour on YouTube and Twitch and Kick. But just shorten the handle some.
More streamlined.
Yeah. Like our shows should be, but they're not.
They're never streamlined. You can also find our website, our 10HrHour.podbean.com. Why did my brain just fart on that one? It just did. That's where the live feed is for all of the episodes, as well as Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts.
That is Cyberpunk 2077 Part 1, Episode 31.
Is it going to be Episode 31 next time, too? Part 2?
I think I did Episode 32, Cyberpunk Part 2.
Okay.
I do believe that's what we did last time.
I think so, too.
I do like that Part 1 is 31 and Part 2 will be 32.
Yeah. That was totally intentional. We should have waited till Episode 77, though.
Sure.
That might have taken a while.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Do you see Wolf's message in chat? I did smash a dude on accident.
What happens on Jig Jig Street stays on Jig Jig Street.
Yeah.